Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go, this is Valley News Live at noon.
New for you at noon. Moorhead Police Department says the SWAT team was called in to help assist them during a search warrant in South Moorhead this morning. Police were searching the 3200 block of 9th Street South behind Doggy Depot. On scene, officers are seen searching through multiple parked cars behind the business. Most of these vehicles had their doors and trunks wide open. Officers are also seen on scene walking around the lot with a large brown bag that looked like it was filled with something. We'll continue to update you when we receive the latest. Well, it feels like we're getting those fall-like temperatures. Doesn't really look like it, but it feels like it. Well, let's check in with meteorologist Lisa Green.
Good afternoon. We're looking at conditions that have been so gloomy out there this morning in a lot of spots because of the fog, and it is lifting. It's getting better, and we're looking around the valley here. You could see still a little bit hazy in Fargo on the DOT cam over the tri-level, but looking better. Thief River Falls on the right. If you look in the distance, you can still see there's some fog impacting the view there, and we've got some improvement in Binford and the Oriska Rest area too along I-94. So these are all places that had a lot of trouble with fog earlier on, and visibility is looking much better. Some spots where it's still slightly lower. Grand Forks is reporting 6 miles visibility, but that's much better than the 0 that we had on the map in several spots earlier on. We're in the 50s and 60s right now. It's 63 degrees in Fargo and 53 in Grand Forks. And taking a peek at your hourly planner, expect to have temperatures on the rise. It took a while to get rid of the fog, but now that we're having more sunshine, that will help to warm us up. We'll see some 60s and 70s today. We're going to talk more about that and the next chance for some rain. That's coming up tonight. We'll have details on that in the weekend forecast too coming up in just a few minutes.
I was going to say we can use a foghorn to blow it all away. I'm not sure if it works like that, but hey, the weather's working and it's going away itself. Thanks again, Lisa. Well, one woman was taken to the hospital following a crash near Horace. Now, it happened around 7 this morning on 124th Avenue South. That's just off I-29. The Cass County Sheriff's Department says 2 vehicles were involved, but only 1 person was taken to the hospital. Roads in that area were blocked off for some time as crews worked to clean it up. Now, no other information is available at this time. Now, a motorcycle driver is facing a hefty penalty for getting caught going 125 miles per hour on I-94 in North Dakota. A state trooper pulled him over yesterday near Valley City, where the speed limit is 75. The driver got a $250 speeding ticket. Now, happening right now, one college university is discussing a very powerful topic on their campus, that'd be suicide. North Dakota State University's libraries are holding a recognition this afternoon for National Suicide Prevention Month. The NDSU's role is bringing awareness while reminding its students that a positive state of mind starts with being good to yourself. During this event, attendees will take an online screening on their personal device to check their mental health conditions. If you're feeling anxious, there will be guides you can take home. Now, this event will go on until 2 this afternoon at the main campus library, and it is free for all attendees. Now, as we break it down, according to the American Health Rankings and the CDC, suicide is in the top 10 leading causes of death within Minnesota and North Dakota. The biggest age group impacted in Minnesota is 45 to 54, while it's 25 to 34 in North Dakota. The highest rates in male Indians in Minnesota and white Caucasians in North Dakota. Now, if you continue taking a look at your screen, we have a list of resources you can check out, including hotlines and local prevention practices. Now, these services are free 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Here are the latest COVID-19 numbers in our area. North Dakota is reporting 471 new cases in the state, along with 8 new deaths. Overall, 211 people have died in the state. Now in Minnesota, the state reports 995 new cases, along with 3 new deaths. 1,988 people have died in that state as well. Vice President Mike Pence and Ivanka Trump are bringing the president's law and order message to Minneapolis today. They plan a listening session at an airport hotel with a Cops for Trump group. They also plan to hear from people whose Trump re-election campaign says have been hurt by crime and violent extremism. Now, the Breonna Taylor case has become part of a national referendum on police brutality. The decision not to charge officers directly with her death drew an impassioned response across the country.
They shouted her name in the streets of Washington, D.C., with marches from Philadelphia to Chicago, Dallas, and Los Angeles.
This is not over. We will not be silent.
In Breonna Taylor's hometown of Grand Rapids, Michigan, her cousin spoke out, and the police chief knelt with protesters in a moment of solidarity.
We'll never be divided.
Several arrests were made in Atlanta, where Georgia State Patrol said officers deployed tear gas.
Say her name.
And in New York, police officers struggled to contain the crowds of impassioned demonstrators.
There's going to be a flashpoint for the election. Our heart goes out to her mother.
Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden reacted from the campaign trail, encouraging protesters to remain peaceful.
Well, my message is that I love the black community.
While President Trump stayed mostly silent on the grand jury's decision, instead voicing support for Kentucky's Republican Attorney General.
Daniel Cameron is doing a fantastic job. I think he's a star.
Breonna Taylor has become a symbol for racial injustice, and the reaction to Wednesday's announcement wasn't limited to the streets.
Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter.
Queen Latifah was among several celebrities to speak out.
Enough already. Enough already. It's time for some people to go to jail.
LeBron James also chimed in, writing a series of tweets that read in part, "I'm devastated. The most disrespected person on earth is the black woman." And after a Game 4 win in the NBA Eastern Conference Finals, the pain was evident for Miami Heat star Bam Adebayo.
I kind of just tried to channel my anger towards the game, and I feel like this win was for her.
Adriana Diaz, CBS News, Louisville, Kentucky.
Well, Coffee Mate wants to make your coffee taste more like coffee. This January, the company is introducing Unlocked by Coffee Mate. It's a first-of-its-kind line of coffee-flavored coffee creamers. Goodness. Designed to turn your kitchen into your favorite neighborhood coffee shop. No fancy machines or expensive equipment required. It will come in classic Colombian and Italian espresso varieties. Coffee Mate says it will cut the bitterness of traditional black coffee and add the creamy richness and the taste of a gourmet roast to your mug. Sounds pretty good, actually. Well, coming up later at noon, we all know it seems like some natural disasters hits the nation every week. But are you prepared if one hit the Red River Valley? We look at emergency preparedness during a pandemic. And today should turn out to be a very nice fall day if the fog is gone. Lisa Green checks the forecast for us.